getting a wave off from the Gidley camp. It looks like Lee Gidley in the 533 will not go. As soon as possible, please. Time is of the essence right now. Let's bring them on, gentlemen. Bring them on.
I think these machines are so gigantic and so expensive when a farmer buys them new, that the thought of somebody intentionally smashing one into another one strikes some people, let's say most people, as lunacy.
Getting tired of this old town, so I took off to drown. Didn't want to see no sights. Spent the night in Vicksburg nights. As I stumbled around the graves, I thought my soul could be saved. Then I fell to my knees.
It's our particular farmer's answer to what has been the other side of this issue around here, the car demo derbies.
Combines basically either harvest small grains like oats, wheat, that type of thing, or bigger grain like corn and soybeans. Combines have been around for 100 years, and they've advanced from the old pull type that were pulled by horses. And I think once you've gone and actually watched it, especially anybody that's in the farming community that's used to running a combine or seeing combines in the field, you know, it's such a different operation for a combine. It's very amusing.
We held the first Combine Derby in 1992. One of the three competitors was Matt Johnston. He has won more than any other competitor, and now he and his family sponsor the event.
I was one of the first three drivers in '92. It was the first year. Mac and Mike Lozier and I. And it was kind of odd how that all got started. Ernie Agater, who's passed away now, was a fair board member, good man. He actually came to me at a tractor pull one night and said that they had bought a combine and were interested in doing a combine derby at the fair and wanted to know if I'd drive it. I was young and dumb, and I said, yeah, I'll do it. And we went and picked it up and got it ready, and the three of us went at it there in the first year. It was 1992. This is the first year. There's Mac and I. Mac was a good driver too. He just always had a little machine. First place, 1 second, 1 third, and in '97, I believe, is the only year I didn't place. You know, this here thing kind of goes along with farmers, and you know, most farmers are willing to help and get along, and that's just kind of the attitude of it. Yeah, I don't know how many of those guys that are driving now are farmers. A lot of guys don't even know how to drive a combine. I've driven a combine 20 plus years. Yeah, the family farms are going away. The younger generations don't want to continue on. It's really a hard life. It's a good life, but it's really hard. The money, I mean, if you can pay bills from month to month, you're lucky. And there's nothing left. You know, right now the price of milk's coming up far better than it was 6 months ago. 6 months ago, you know, a guy couldn't even pay his bills. And of course it does that all the time. It comes up and goes down. You get ahead a little bit and then you go backwards. I think they like the 80s raw. That's what I like. We own about 200 acres, rent another 200. 45 milk cows and probably between 50 and 60 young stock heifers, calves. Fair time comes around, we try and get down and watch it. We donate money toward the event now. You know, it's kind of neat, even going down there, and kids will come up and they'll say, aren't you so-and-so? Didn't you win this 100 times? And I'm like, yeah.
This event is about community. You see that in the drivers. We have a whole group of Hanover Township volunteer firefighters who compete. These are guys who volunteer to provide fire and rescue out in the community, and they also volunteer to keep the event safe here at the fair, and also several of them compete in the demolition derby.
Basically, just about everybody in there has got some type of farm background. And this, you know, they work hard all their lives, and you go do something like this just to get a little bit of enjoyment out of it. And it's like a brother. It's like being on the volunteer fire department. At our meetings, you know, everybody, you're a jerk and no good and all this stuff, but yet that tone goes off. You watch anywhere from 20 to 30 firefighters show up and do what they have to do. Then when it's done and over with, well, you didn't do that right. You didn't do this right. I don't like what you did this.
How old is the general age of these combines that we're running? They're probably from the late 60s, early 70s.
Where do you remember them from, Joe?
Hey, the first one that Scott run, a Ronback 45, that would have been in the 50s.
So we're talking late 50s.
62, they started making the square back, so it would have been in the 50s.
So these combines have served their useful purpose as far as farming. Back in their day, there was a lot of small farms where these was utilized more. Today, there's a lot bigger machines doing the same thing. So these are they are obsolete. A bunch of us here with the fire department, we all kind of park ours kind of in one general area, and some of them others is kind of in another general area, and we kind of stay amongst ourselves for the most part, unless they need something that we would have.
We've got stuff off in the clothes.
We play well with that.
You got more weight and momentum when you hit. And we don't spare any energy when it comes to that. We give it all.
Fast as she'll go.
Yeah. Oh, that's a blast.
Once we're outside the ring, we'll help each other out. But once we're inside, it's everybody for themselves.
That's your philosophy.
No, I ain't saying there's no buddy system, but it's a little bit maybe.
No money either.
Some people go spend every waking moment fishing, some do hunting, we do combine.
You'll be surprised at how we can revive them combines that look like they're ready for the junkyard or the scrap yard. Strictly stock machines. No modifications to them.
Straight face, Dave, with a straight face.
Anywhere.
Yeah, he's like our dad when it comes to this stuff. No, actually, when it comes to about everything, he's like our dad.
That's right on.
See, here's
What?
I'm not letting you hold nothing anymore, you know?
He's trying to hold this plate on there, and he had it up in there, and he's like, in this real tight spot, going like this, it's not moving out. He's fixing that in about 20 minutes. Hey, you guys got a tail light like that? Yeah. Yeah, I had one, Tom, until it burned the hell out of my hand like that one. Son of a bitch. Ow! Man got one on me there. Yeah, let's take we'll pump off. We'll take it down to the So if you drink, you don't realize how much work there is. It's just like baling hay. You drink a case of beer every 4 or 5 wagon loads. If you don't, you realize how much work you're doing, you don't want to do it no more. Because the money ain't in the farm like it used to be.
Nah, this part sucks. The derby's the fun part. When you actually get to hit people.
They turn the welder. Somebody turn the welder down. There we go.
Alright, back off. Running through now. Joe, turn it down a little bit. Jeez. He's laughing. Listen to the laugh. Son of a bitch.
Nate, he was asking me the week of the fair if I want to drive. I said sure. No training. No, just drove out in the field a few times, and that was it. This is going to be my 4th year. Since this year's done, I look for the following years. Usually the bigger ones are a little slower than the small ones are faster. Usually the small ones speed up the big ones to get them out there. So it's more even then. It's fun. Hitting other people and get your frustrations out. It's just a fun family thing. I'm just out there to have fun. If I win, I win. If I don't, I don't.
We are in position. Gentlemen, you have all been briefed at the drivers' meeting as to the rules of this event. We'll pay close attention to the whistle, which will start the event and cause it to stop. Gentlemen, are we ready on the competition area? If so, yes, then here we go.
The rules are simple. We put 3 or 4 combines in each heat, and the last 2 running from each heat go into the feature event. If you aren't moving, you're put on the clock for 2 minutes. If you aren't moving and hitting by the end of that 2 minutes, you're eliminated. And if the grain head separates from the combine at any time, the machine is automatically eliminated for driver safety.
And the early target of this competition looks like Scott Smith in the number 75. And Greg Smith took a hard hit on the engine as he stripped by the stalled Crisanto vehicle and is in a certain amount of trouble because of that. You folks be careful in the front row of that grandstand. If he throws that radiator at you, be ready to move. We now have the General Lee on the clock. General Lee, you are on the clock. The radiator has now separated from the Greg Smith combine. Scott Smith and Greg Smith, the Smith brothers. Well, they're not brothers, but they're Smiths. They're the 2 that remain right now because Crisanto and Bacon are on the clock. We're taking the top 2 from this heat to the feature as these 2 machines continue to do the promenade. We've got some grinding and some sparks, and the Crisanto.
68:01, 2 minutes, 0-1 with a little time left.
68 plus 1 just got it going under the 2-minute limit. Greg Smith continues to back up.
1 back on the clock. 68 plus 1 done his head fall.
And the head has separated from 68 plus 1. That's a disqualification for Nick Crisanto. We now have 3 machines left in this competition. And Greg Smith drives Scott Smith toward the corner of the competition area. Greg Smith working without a radiator for the last 5 minutes of this heat. And it's going to get progressively more difficult for him to continue as this heat goes on.
1 minute to go for 0-1.
1 minute left on the clock for Craig Bacon. 1 minute left on the clock for Craig Bacon in the general lead. General Lee waves off. That's it. We have a final here. Stop the competition. We have our 2 heat winners. There you are. Those are your 2 winners from the first heat. Let's give them a big hand. It is Greg Smith in the red 403 and Scott Smith in the John Deere number 75. Those 2 drivers will be eligible to return for our feature event, which will be the 4th heat today.
The county fair always has been kind of the center of the community at the, towards the fall into the end of the year. Of course, all the farmers, the boys and girls are all in FFA or 4-H or some type of farm organization, Farm Bureau or something. So the fair is kind of the rundown at the end of the year.
It's still kind of like it was 20, 25 years ago. Kids are having fun and goofing off, and parents yelling at them and making them clean their stalls, and you know how it goes.
Yeah, I just like Columbiana. That's where I grew up, Columbiana County. I mean, I could make more money going to Carrollton, but I just kind of like sticking to Columbiana County Fair. Used to show cows there, 4-H.
I've been going since I was a little boy. I've taken animals and whatnot. Been involved in it. Yeah, pretty much my whole life.
I was in 4-H from the time I was 8 until I was 18. We took dairy cattle and beef cattle and horses to the fair every year. Mom and Dad were 4-H advisors, and we had our own 4-H club for quite a few years. But that was the thing to look forward to every year, was going to the fair and staying for a week. That was all fun,
Sundays have evolved here over the years into our biggest day of the fair. And now it's become by far the biggest day of the fair. And we cover just about all realms of rural life here, or rural/Appalachian life here. We start with a traditional horse pull in the morning at 9 o'clock and a church service. Sometimes these 2 activities overlap. You can hear the announcement and the barking of the horse drivers over the loudspeaker from the church service going on behind the grandstand in the midway stage. And they come in here, and it's a quiet, placid, serene slice of many years ago of life when a lot of these people weren't born.
I don't think they like to do it in the rain.
Why do they have 2 cows? First one?
Mm-hmm.
We have a winner. Judges, give us a determination on that square number.
We have a winner here. It's up to the judges to determine. It's right on the line. We have a number 42.
With the person holding the ticket with the last 2 digits being number 42, step to the front of the grandstand and wave to us.
And then we transition toward the afternoon, which is a free grandstand event. It's our way to sort of thank the people who are our fair supporters by giving them a free grandstand show. But it's worked real well. I mean, we think we've got the biggest combine demolition derby in the state of Ohio, easily enough.
Mine's Gleaner. It's the actual Gleaner colors.
It ain't no
Galvanized.
Galvanized and black.
What? It's actually the biggest one sitting out there.
The worst looking one sitting out there, too.
No.
I don't take much time in the paint. I'd rather. Yeah, I'd rather run decent. It's just something we do together to play. Yeah, we like to pick on each other, and we like to help each other out. Just all in good fun, I guess. A lot of the guys from the fire department come over and help, get them ready and whatnot. Yeah, pretty much the day of the derby, we're on fire patrol down there, so all the guys that take the trucks down get to come up and watch. I think we're all pretty much in. It's an adrenaline rush. Even if I do get it running good, it's in pretty bad shape as it is. Actually, if I were to do it right, I'd put a new head on it. And, the machine pretty much took a thrashing 2 years ago. I mean, I run it for all it had, and it took it up to the very end. And I didn't put a whole lot of time into it last year, just busy. And this year, probably going to put less time in it. Hopefully, it'll just get going. Just have a little fun with it. I don't know.
That's unreal. Oh my. It's been to think, I almost went to bed tonight.
The motivation more or less was to pay homage to all the people in Iraq that have fallen. There's like 4,060 names on it altogether. And I just wanted to try to bring awareness to how many people have died in the war.
That's my little hand. It's been a family effort, pretty much. Tim Powell's the driver, and I'm his daughter, and me and my mom wrote the name. It took a very long time. For 120 names, it took an hour. So for 4,060 names, there's a lot of writing in there. It's amazing, you know, the ideas that he comes up with, and it's really from the heart.
And finally, we're waiting on Tim Powell, who is here from East Palestine in the Gleaner G, a 65 Corvette engine. Tim dedicates the combine to the 4060 fallen soldiers in the Iraqi war. His fourth year number of wins. He was best of show last year. We wish he could get it in here, but it looks like he's not going to be able to make it, and that's a shame. Tim Powell has gotten his machine closer to the competition area, is running. It's red, white, and blue. He does look like he will compete. And a fine decorated combine it is, too. He didn't make the show, but let's give him a big hand anyway.
Of course I'm going to win. Yeah. If not, I'm going to lose a lot of paint. I can guarantee you that.
Me and Matt Johnson and Mike Lozier, we were the first three that started this thing, and it's just been like a buddy system thing. Every time you see him, hey guys, you know, good luck in the arena because we're coming at you. And this year, I'm gonna go out with a bang this year. I really want to take first place. Got a massive. Yeah, that thing had come in third place just about every time. Never could get past third place, but it was fun. Agater, he passed away here. He was one of the guys that first started this thing. I've bought his son's combine. His son's just didn't want to do it anymore. And I went up and talked to him the other day, and I'm gonna buy your combine. You want to sell it? He said, yeah, I'll sell it. I said, I'm out of it. And I said, all right, I'm gonna get back in it. So that's, yeah, his combine. We're gonna haul home, fix it up in van. Here it is, undamaged.
The first year in it.
Yeah, that was our first year in
That's
it.
the third year.
Yeah, that's with the new header. Now the eyeballs, they're going to be on this one. We're going to make the eyes because this is going to be the Mac Attack back in black. And we're going to have the eyes on it, and we're going to win it this year. We got to win it this year. I'm the grandfather of the Combine Demolition Derby. We just got our friends and family here. This is the best time of it. Just getting it ready and seeing everybody working at it and getting busy. I mean, it's the best time. Then we got to take it in there and smash it. This is where we hang out and cook and do our victory party. We're all family. I mean, we have a good time. We do. My two boys, my wife. We do everything together.
Whiskey man, won't you leave me alone? Whiskey man, go home. Take your jugs and your pickup too. Whiskey man, I'm through. Whiskey man, won't you let me be? Come and ease my pain. Kill me now or just set me free. Don't forget my name.
Here we go. We're underway in the second heat. Tim Powell moves out to the south end. 32, Jason Raymond moves out to the north end. And the first hit is on Jason Raymond as Bob Baker in the Hilltop Silver moves into position, and a hard shot on Mike Ciani by Tim Powell. Ciani takes a shot, now takes position on Powell. And the four machines are locked in the grid near the center of the competition area. Bob Baker, Tim Powell, Mike Ciani, and Jason Raymond. Baker. Bob Baker in the 66. You are on the clock. Bob Baker, but he gets it moving. A hard impact there between the number 32 of Jason Raymond and Tim Powell. And suddenly Tim Powell is not moving and working on that gear lever. He's got it moving once again as Jason Raymond continues to position for a side shot on that header of the Tim Powell 4060.
32-66 on the clock.
Bob Baker, you are on the clock. Jason Raymond, you are also on the clock. Zany and Powell duel in the center of the racetrack as Baker and Raymond struggle to get their machines moving once again. 30 seconds to go for Jason Raymond to get his machine running. 3 machines still in this competition, 2 to pick. There went a tire. Time on 32. Jason, shut her down. Jason, time on Jason Raymond into 32. We're down to 3 combines left in this heat. Powell and Baker locked in a duel, and here comes Zany. Zany for another shot on Powell. Zany's still swinging around the south end of the competition area, and Prince, the Baker straw shaker, shortening that span of that machine by a few feet. Tim Powell was going to go on the clock, but you got it moving, so you're back in this competition. There's a big hit from Zany to Powell. Bob Baker, you are on the clock. No, he's got it going once again. Stays alive. Bob Baker, they want you back in the competition. They want you making impact. Now, Tim Powell is on the clock. They want you making contact.
Right now, people!
Tim Powell has waved it off. That's your heat, ladies and gentlemen. And the winners of this heat, moving on to the feature, Bob Baker in the 66 silver and Mike Zany in the black number 7. Let's give them all a big hand.
Tires up, I put some gas in it, cleaned the points and distributor cap as far as the corrosion on the stuff, put some water in it, put a little ether in it, fired right out. I wanted to do that for several years before I actually did, a little bit hesitant of doing that for fear I'd catch hell from my dad, because, you know, you don't beat things up, especially when you're to make farming use or money out with them. You don't beat them up. The machine by itself, as you can see, is not, it can't do anything by itself. So it needs a grain head or a corn head on the front of it. Being the corn heads has got snouts on them, they're very rigid, and they could poke tires out and puncture clear through the machine, so they don't use them. They use these grain heads because that way you got a fair chance at and not injuring the other person as bad, as quick. This come from an old farmer up around Winona. He'd been sitting out in the fields unoperational for 4 or 5 years. Somebody else had bought the machine and was still going to try and use it. Put a head that I had bought at a sale back in January, and we traded heads. He's gonna use the better one for this and for his thing, and give me the old one. Well, I got the old one, so now I got to get it put on here. Being as I've been in this for a few years, I think as long as the referees don't stop you for anything, just keep going. The object is we're to have fun and put a show on for all the people that's in the packed grandstands.
Probably the most fun part of it is trying to get them ready right before it's time to go to the fair, 2 days before, you know. Never think about it the other 362 days of the year. Just except you see them every day, I mean, so. Nah, it's just, really, everybody kind of works together, everybody who does it, I guess, and it's just kind of fun. Everybody works together and we just go out and beat the hell out of each other, basically. I don't know how to really other put it, but it's just a really good, I mean, you get a pretty good rush out, a little adrenaline rush through it, but it's more fun. I like more fun working on it than actually going in there and busting them up because we work on them so hard and stuff, and you go in and just tear them up, but it's a lot of fun.
Nope, sorry guys, we started, this was, no, not fair. I'm sorry, this was a noon event. I'm sorry. I wish we could get you in. We're proud to have you. I can't do it in fairness to the other drivers. No, I'm sorry. I said no, I'm sorry. We wish you could have gotten here on time, but we started this thing a long time ago, and it was scheduled for noon. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I hear you. I sympathize with you. But what happened? You had a problem getting here? I'm not doubting that a bit. Is there one that kind of went short? No, there's 4. We're full. I'll tell you what. Can you stand by in case we've got a no-show for the third heat? If these four guys all come in, you're out. But if one of these guys cannot get into the fourth heat, third heat, there's no meeting. Either they all run and you're out, or one of them can't and we'll let you in. Are the heat 3 drivers where they can hear and see me? Drivers for heat number 3. Can anybody there see me or hear me? Can you go down there with the radio where Joe McCarnes is? He's right here at this end, and holler at him maybe down across the front and see whether they're all 4 running for the third heat. If one of them's not, then we need to know it.
How many of you in heat 3, 4?
most of you can see from the grandstand, we've had a late arrival here on the fairgrounds, and we're discussing right now what, in fairness, to do about that situation. Well, here's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and this, I think, is a symbol of the camaraderie that you see in Combine Demolition Derby drivers. We had a rig drive onto the fairgrounds a few minutes ago, as you saw. He's made his desperate efforts to get here, but he had a breakdown on the way here from Carrollton. And my initial impression was that, in fairness to our other drivers, he should not be permitted to compete. However, we went and asked the other drivers what they thought. And they said, we know what goes into this. The more the merrier. Let him run. So that's exactly what we're going to do. This is at the request of the remaining drivers in this competition to allow Zeb to compete. Here we go. And all 5 drivers move out from the start position to start this third heat action. And the first big hit by our late arrival, Zeb Casper, but Joe McCarnes gives him a special welcome from Columbiana County. Zeb Casper has immediately lost his left front drive tire. Justin Frazier once again coming in from the south end to the cluster at 4. The biggest hit of the day by Justin Frazier put on Zeb Casper. Joe McCarnes in big trouble as Gidley pushes him into the block corner down here at the extreme north end. Justin Frazier takes a shot on the side of Joe McCarnes as Nate Smith comes around and takes a shot at Lee Gidley. Zeb Casper somehow still moving, although he's absorbed some vicious impacts, having just gotten onto the fairgrounds a few minutes ago. Justin Frazier hits Zeb Casper hard at the center of the competition area. Backs away for another hit while Joe McCarnes is struggling to get out of this corner. Former champion Joe McCarnes in the U-169 vehicle. And Zeb Casper, you are on the clock. Zeb Casper, you are on the clock. Zeb Casper gets it going once again. He's lost this front drive tire. He's struggling to even hold it on the hub right now. Justin Frazier swinging clear once again, landing haymakers with pretty good regularity. Here comes Frazier head on for a long shot on Zeb Casper. And now Zeb Casper caught in the 4-way crunch as Joe McCarnes works on him and Lee Gidley. Watch that situation closely, judges, as Casper's situation becomes more perilous as he continues to lose that front tire.
U-69 on the clock.
Joe McCarnes, you are on the clock. Joe McCarnes, you are on the clock. Zeb Casper works hard to keep his machine mobile as Frazier takes yet another hit as Nate Smith in the silver machine breaks clear. Joe McCarnes gets his moving, and so does Lee Gidley. They're all 5 in motion, although Casper seems to be in the greatest jeopardy right now. Casper in the number 9 is all but losing that front main tire. His mobility is coming down to just about nothing, but he continues to struggle to drive that machine forward. He's had a tough morning getting here. He's having a tough heat so far, but he's not giving it up. Joe McCarnes, you are out. Joe McCarnes is out. We're down to 4 machines. Let's give Joe McCarnes a fine hand so far for his work in this heat. Casper is almost to the point where he cannot do anything. He's lost his rear steering assembly. He's completely lost his front left drive tire and is just struggling to stay upright. Zed Casper, you're out of time. Zed Casper is eliminated. Shut her down. Thank you for coming. A big hand for Zed Casper in his efforts to get here late, folks, today. Now, 3 combines remain. 1 yet to be eliminated for the 2 that we'll have in our feature. That's Justin Frazier taking a shot on Nate Smith. Nate Smith in the silver machine and Lee Gidley in the orange-yellow 533. Justin Frazier, we need you back in this action. We need you to participate in this action, and here he comes. Nate Smith's got a serious mess in his tail steering assembly as Frazier sends a message to both of these remaining surviving combines. Lee Gidley remains on the clock as these 3 machines that remain go for the final 2 for this 3rd heat to get into this upcoming feature event. A driving blow from Frazier as he puts Nate Smith into a situation that he might have some trouble getting out of. When that clock runs on Gidley, if he can't get it started, this heat will end. As Frazier continues to deliver love taps to Nate Smith, who's now lost power. Nate Smith has lost power. We've got waved off. He waved off. That ends the heat. Now, this is a situation we find ourselves in. Nate Smith, I'm not sure, understood what he was doing when he waved off. But by waving off, when there was still time left on Lee Gidley's clock, Nate Smith eliminated himself from this heat feature event. So the 2 that will move on to the feature from this heat are Justin Frazier and Lee Gidley. Who's this?
That kid from Carroll started.
Well, Frazier better settle down. All right, our judges are there. Gentlemen, we talk about camaraderie. Let's keep it up. I know our tempers run high in this event. Let's give them all a fine hand for that event. That's a good competitive heat for all 5 of these drivers.
Everyone wants to win, but you got to get out and have fun, too. I've only got a chance to win once, though, so maybe I keep on doing it. A lot of this stuff for the actual combine machine, but for the derby, all you need your gear shifter, your clutch, your brakes, your steering wheel. This is the variable speed right here. Kind of makes it go faster or slower, changes the belt tension. And you got to make them run good. Just because you're going out there to crash it up, you still have to make it run good.
And the last block moves securely into position. The drivers are in their machines ready and running. Judges on the racetrack, are we ready? Yes, we are. Drivers, here we go. And the feature event is underway with 5 machines surviving. And there they are, Scott Smith in the 75 John Deere. Bob Baker at the south end in that hilltop, number 66. Justin Frazier out here in the 69 red. Mike Ciani in the south end in the black number 7. And Greg Smith in the red 403. And they're going for the win here now, ladies and gentlemen. There won't be 2 survivors here. There'll only be 1 champion. Machines now suddenly find themselves jammed in that southwest corner, but they all still seem to be moving, although Bob Baker is having the most trouble in his pincher condition right now. Justin Frazier continues to swing wide and free, and just about throws Scott Smith out of that 75 John Deere. We're checking Scott Smith to see if he's still okay. That was the hardest hit that any driver has had to absorb here today. And he takes yet another one from Justin Frazier. Scott Smith taking a physical beating in that 75 machine. And here comes Frazier head on with Scott Smith. Bob Baker is still moving, but he's got problems. Mike Ciani continues to pinch away. Greg Smith, with the radiator problems from earlier, is still moving. Seems to be in a little better shape than he was a minute ago, as Justin Frazier, who is Mike Ciani, you are on the clock. Mike Ciani, you are on the clock. Frazier's got a pincher on him now, as Greg Smith and Scott Smith work on Justin Frazier, and Bobby Baker is, Frazier realizes his position and condition. Mike Ciani is moving. Frazier gets out of it. Bob Baker is on the clock as Frazier lays another hard hit on Ciani. Scott Smith is on the clock. Scott Smith in the 75 John Deere is on the clock. Now, Mike Ciani has waved off. Number 7 has waved off. We are down to 4. Let's give Mike Ciani a big hand. We have 4 machines left. Suddenly, things have gotten real quiet out in the competition area. I only hear 1 machine running. Bob Baker, you are on the clock. Scott Smith has waved off in the 75. He has waved off. We're down to 3 machines. 403 still is on the clock. Bob Baker is on the clock. Justin Frazier is moving free. This could be it, ladies and gentlemen, as we watch this time go by. The possible final of this as he circles the kill. Time dwindling on Bob Baker. Time dwindling on Greg Smith. Justin Frazier still moving free. Greg Smith, you are out of time. Greg Smith, you are out of time. Bob Baker with a few seconds left on the clock. Bob Baker is waving off. He's out of time. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is, a repeat championship. A repeat championship. Justin Frazier is your 2007 Demo Derby champion. Let's give them all a fine hand, ladies and gentlemen. They're out there laying it on the line for your entertainment. This is the Combine Demolition Derby of Columbiana County Fair.